welcome to my channel. Here we are on Joey Sewy. I cannot get that out. Sewing, styling and self-care. And we're on Me Made May Day 13. I have something amazing to show you that I have me made and I am so happy. So let's get to it. So the bulk of this video is going to be about looking for dress patterns for one of my ready-to-wear dresses that I showed you in my wardrobe audit. However, I have been sewing during the month as well. It's only the 13th. You will know what I've been sewing if you have been watching, and you'll be waiting to see whether I am wearing the Samara pants or whether it did all go terribly wrong. Well, I can tell you, I am wearing them. I love them so much and I'm a total lunatic. They're brilliant. I love them. I'm going to have to go back and do some swishy shots because they're just the best trousers I have made for a really long time. I'm so happy that I saved them. Everything worked out in the end. And this is why I sew. So let's do some swishy shots. Here we are. They are super wide trousers. So if you want to make them in very flowy fabric. They will definitely need some flowy fabric. I don't know what to say about them, to be honest. I'm just so excited about them. If I make them again, or if I am going to make them again, in fact, I'm thinking I want to make them again immediately. Of course I do. I need to go up a size a little bit because I had to let all the seams out, but that's okay. I think I want to make the waistband a little bit deeper. I think I want to shape the waistband slightly. I need to remember not to nearly cut all of the length off by accident. They don't have pockets. Now, obviously that's a downside, but on such lightweight trousers with pockets, certainly for me, I think I will live with not having pockets because I prefer the silhouette to be like this. And I don't just mean the swishing, I also mean I wouldn't want to add bulk here. They're not close fitting in a tight way, but they're close fitting in the perfect way for a pear shape where it skims over here, goes out from there. And if I put pockets in, number one, I'd have to adapt the pattern, which is probably very doable, but number two, it would add bulk exactly where I don't want it. What have I worn it with? Well, I've got my vintage shirt on, which I love this shirt too. I got it in Amsterdam a couple of summers ago. It is cotton lawn where it isn't embroidered cotton, and it's gorgeous. And I just knew I wanted to put it with the trousers because it's a really classic colour combination. My other colours are my lovely handmade, although not by me, brooch, and there's this pink on that. And so on my shoes, which you may have seen but probably not very close up, I will put a picture in. My shoes are white and pink, so there's no belt available on this, and it's quite warm, so it's maybe not belt weather anyway, but I would put a pink belt there, of course, because you've seen how I do those things. But I like the pink and the pink, so that is what I'm wearing today. Now, I may just sew Samara pants for the rest of my sewing life, but if I choose to maybe sometimes make something else, then one of the things that will be on my soonish list might be a dress. So let's go on to yesterday me to have a look at which dress I'm talking about, and then back to today voiceover me for me to show you what I've been looking at online that are the candidates for my dress. And I will want some help from you at the end to think about which is the closest match. I have ideas, but I'm always open to hearing your opinions. So here is past me from yesterday, and I had brought this dress out and I thought I'll talk about it today, film it, get it ready for tomorrow, when I'll be wearing who knows what. So this is the dress that I want to find patterns similar to. Now, I actually don't think I want to find exactly the same pattern when we go looking online in a minute, but I do want to find similar elements. So I will insert some pictures of me wearing it, but the details that I like, it has shorter sleeves, so shorter sleeves that can either roll up or half length sleeves end at the waist. Probably Now, we're going risky because I started at the start of Me Made May saying I don't really wear short dresses, and it's kind of true, except I do wear them a bit in winter with tights. So I am thinking of stretching myself out of my comfort zone, basically getting some nude tights, which were actually delivered yesterday, and wearing shorter dresses in summer, or at least trying it. So this dress, if you have seen the pictures, is quite short. It has a flounce at the bottom, which I quite like. Probably don't want anything too huge, but the main thing that I do really like is that it has, this is the worst demonstration of a dress ever, isn't it? It has a stretchy waistband. And it has quite a high neck, which I quite like. It fastens with a couple of buttons at the back, like that. Yes, it came like that. I was trying to think whether I changed it like that. I didn't change it like that. The only thing I changed was the sleeves. Now, the way that this waistband is constructed is very simple. When the dress was made, it was probably same size waist, skirt and top, but oversized, and then the elastic is sewn. So there's the seam and the overlocking, and the elastic is sewn into the seam allowance, so it's not sewn and visible on the worn side. It's just like an invisible seam, but it's got elastic there, and interestingly sewn with a running stitch that is still stretchy. So if you've got any tips actually how you, other than using a zigzag stitch, which I know is an option, but tips for sewing elastic on to gather in this nature, because I've tried it before and I often stretch out the elastic, so I don't know if there's a method I'm not doing. So if you've got any tips, let me know in the comments down below. Let's get on and have a little browse of patterns and see if I can find anything that is anything like this beautiful dress. So here I am on the fold line, and what I've done is I have prepared a short wish list of things that I think I like the dress. And as I said in my video, I'm not looking for something that's exactly the same, but I'm looking for things that are similar. So I have 6 candidates on my wish list. We've got a fibre mood one, we have got 3 itch to stitch ones, because a bit of an itch to stitch super fan today, and with the chai dress that I recently made. And then we have a Jennifer Lauren handmade and a Tilly in the buttons. So when I was choosing, I wanted things that were shorter in length, although shortening a skirt is probably the simplest thing you can do on a pattern, one of them. But I also wanted things with a gathered waist, so I could mimic that elasticated waist, because as I said, that is one of the things that I do want to try and get. So we have a look at each of them in turn, and I will tell you the things that I like about them. So they're in no particular order. We'll start with the fibre mood. What we have got is these ruffles on the top. There is a gathered skirt there, so we can see there's a gathered skirt here, and on the line drawing, so there's a V, which is really good for my shape. It's got a high neck, as I said, so it's got the notched fastening in the back. It's got gathers at the end of the sleeves. They're not full length sleeves. I haven't quite decided what I want to do with the sleeves yet. So if we go out of the product listing, let's just check. Yep, cinched elastic waist. So what are the notions? 0.5 centimetre wide elastic. So that's indicating to me that it's quite narrow, like the dress that I showed you that I'm copying or going close to. So that's the fibre mood one. I have never made a fibre mood pattern. I have read a few reviews, and I am a teeny bit concerned that the instructions are apparently very scant, and I did just have my style arc experience. So it's not that I can't work instructions out, I just don't really like doing it. So like the style, not sure about trying a fibre mood pattern. So this itch to stitch top, what I liked about it was, to be honest, there's a little bit of a hangover from, let's go to the, well, I'll show you the dress on the line drawings. So on the line drawings here, we have got a knee-length dress. It is gathered with 3 lines of elastic. It has got gathered cuffs, which, although I wasn't talking about it, reminded me of my dark blue satin shirt I wore the other day, and how I could perhaps take those sleeves and make something similar. I was thinking, I always do this. I always start looking for a pattern and then go, oh, but I could have that detail and that detail, and I don't stay narrow enough. So I could be doing that here, could be a mistake. But on the product details, please. What I really liked actually was how this top looked. So the fastening is exactly the button fastening that I was looking for, but it's at the front. So it's not high necked all the way around. It doesn't have the kind of stand collar that the one I'm copying does, but it is high necked. And I really liked this rectangular detail. It's like a yoke with a front placket, I guess. And the gathers at the top, the insertion there. So that isn't like the dress I'm looking for, but it is really nice. So I do really quite like this one. Here's a dress made up. So it's very difficult to see it because it's in a patterned fabric, but it's also got, I think that's done with shearing elastic, isn't it? The luminous fit, sheared waist and wrists. Now, I have never done shearing. It wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but having said that, I don't think I can zoom in. No, I can't zoom in, but I know it will be pretty flattering. It's just, can I do it? I mean, of course I can do it. I've never done it. So that might be a minus point, or at least something to consider whether I really want to take on that new skill. So then we have, let's go back to my wish list. The next itch to stitch candidate is the Camillus dress. Why did I pick this one out? Let's have a look at the line drawings. Here they are. I picked this one out because it had the flounce at the bottom. It does have a high neck, but it has a notched collar a little bit. Again, product details, please. It's possible if we look at I was thinking a bit more like the blouses that we looked at the other day, and it has gathers here at the collar, which I do really like. A slight puff sleeve. It has a higher waist, which I think is more flattering because proportionally my bottom half is slightly shorter than my top half, I would say. I'm not super tall, but my top half is kind of average size, and then where I lose my height, I believe, from clothes over the years, is a few inches on the legs. So if I raise the waist up, I can lengthen my legs, and I do like that look. So I quite liked the high waist with this one. And if we read the description, it has a ruffled skirt. It can be a longer one or a shorter one. It has more tiers than I wanted, but I could always extend one of the tiers and just have a ruffle at the bottom, which again wouldn't be super difficult, would it? A gathered front neck with a placket, a high cinched waist gathered by 3 rows of elastic. So that is that easier than shearing? I don't know. I'm wondering whether it is. Neither of them are exactly like the pattern I was going for, but that's got 3 layers of what size elastic? Where are our notions? Notions, where are you? I can't see them. Let's see if it's anywhere lower down. Choosing a size. Other materials. 6mm wide elastic, 3 times the length of your waist. So each piece of elastic is probably the same as the gathered skirt, the gathered dress that I was looking for. But there are 3 of them, which might actually be preferable for me, thinking about the shape I like on my body. So if we go back to my wish list, that's number 3. Another itch to stitch. I remember looking at this when I was looking for my Royal Garden party dress. It's a lovely dress, a really lovely dress. Look at this bodice, it's gorgeous. It has the high neck, and it has, I guess, a neck band. It's not really a stand collar, is it? But it has a neck band, which is why I picked it out. It has a much more fit and flared skirt than the others. And I think probably it's a bit more formal than I wanted. I think that flaring of the skirt would be a bit too much for what I'm after. I was worried about them flying away in the wind and flashing everything and having an unintentional, un-Marilyn Monroe-like Marilyn Monroe moment. Maybe that's just one. It is one of my paranoias, but it's what I worry about. But I think overall, this is beautiful, but it's probably a bit more formal than I was looking for. So I'm not sure on that one. I don't think that's the one. Jennifer Lauren handmade Felicity dress and skirt. So this one is actually, I think, gathered already at the waist. So the bodice is much narrower. I really liked the gathers at the neck on this one. And I thought that would be really flattering on me. And I saw that it had a gathered skirt, but now I'm looking closer, actually, I don't want it to just be gathered at the waist, because what that does, and a few of you have commented on videos I've done before, like, don't have to follow the style rules so strictly. I know that, that's not your voice, sorry. But these are some things that I like feel comfortable with or don't feel comfortable with. So what I think I wouldn't feel comfortable with on this dress is that you're gathering in, so the bulkiest part of the dress in terms of the fabric is over the bulkiest part of my body, and I'm not sure that's what I want. So I think, although I do really like this neckline, oh look, this skirt, okay, let's have a look at the line drawings, because this skirt is not gathered. However, you know what I'm thinking? That's a fit and flare skirt, like the itch to stitch one I just said probably wasn't right for me. So yeah, I don't think this one is right for me. It's also sleeveless, which was not what I was looking for. I don't know what I want with sleeves, but I do want sleeves, I think. So I think that one might also be a not right now dress, but it's a lovely dress. So Tilly and the buttons, what have you got for me with the Martha dress? Let's have a look at the line drawing to see what's going on. Ah, yes, now this one I picked out because it has the neckline that I think is closest to the neckline of the dress that I was looking for. So where's the picture of the neckline? Probably that one maybe. So it's a patterned picture, but you can see here it has a stand collar basically, which, there we are, there she is, that's picked out with embroidery. So if I wanted to mimic the collar / neckline of my original dress, I think this one would be really close. It's got the opportunity to do colour blocking if one wanted to do that. I quite like the sleeves. I think from memory it has got 2 sleeve options. We want the Martha dress. I think it's got bell sleeves and, no, short sleeves, yeah. But it's not gathered. It's not got the elastic waist that I was looking for. So it's probably the best in terms of the collar, and it's not the best in terms of the skirt. So I'm going to put that one also in the no pile. Let's have a quick look what that leaves us with. So if Tilly and the buttons, Jennifer Lauren and Itch to Stitch, and I really didn't organise this, but they're on that line, and they're all my no's. We've got the Fibre Mood that I do quite like, but I'm not sure about the instructions. Maybe that's where I can have your help. Have you tried a Fibre Mood pattern? Will I regret my life choices if I try and sew one? Or out of the 2 Itch to Stitches, it's a close one. I think for what I'm looking at, I think the Azores is the one I'd go for. I am just really liking the detail of the what does she call it? Just a slit at the centre front neckline with a loop and button closure, front and back yokes, chest and upper back gathers. So I think I do really like that one. I would love to hear from you what you think about Fibre Mood patterns, and what do you think about my choice? Please let me know. Maybe your favourite is a different one. Of course, you'll be dressing a different body. So those are the things I've been thinking about. It's not next on my cutting table because, as I said, I'm probably going to excitedly sew another pair of Samara trousers. But hearing from you about what we might do will be really interesting. So I hope you enjoyed the rest of the video. Thank you for sticking around to the end. Don't forget, I'm looking for Q&As for my, well, you don't have to provide the answers, you can just provide the questions for my Q&A video, which will be in a week or so. I don't know exactly when, but not too long. And I will be back tomorrow, probably not quite as excited about what I'm wearing but wearing something me made, hopefully, or I'll have my excuses ready and doing something else. Bye for now.